Dragon Prophecies Prodigy by L.B.B. Davis. Within the land of endless ice, the dragon's time had come. The sky was swollen with dark clouds, and flashes of lightning streaked brightly across the dark sky. The snow-covered mountain tops held no visible life on the surface until a great shadow moved across the virgin snow. The black beast flew in circles around the top of the tallest mountain, which had been carved into a plateau. In the frozen mountains it was difficult to find a safe place to land. With the grace of a bird of prey, the black dragon landed on 4 powerful legs. The smell of rotting vegetation and metallic water followed on the dragon. Other dragons approached from the distant horizon. A summons had been sent out to the 5 dragon clans. Few knew the cause of the strange and rare phenomenon. Due to their size, large groups rarely gathered, even within their own clans. It had been over 1,000 years since the last Dragon Council had been held. These meetings led to war between the clans. The strangest thing about this meeting was that the Black Clan sent out the summons. Black dragons were known to be isolationists and xenophobic. Only war or starvation brought them out of their dark lands and swamps. A gold dragon landed across from the black dragon. Both equal in size and status, the dragons exchanged greetings as they took stock of each other. The gorgeous golden creature had a bright sheen. Her scales glowed through the pouring rain. She had 2 smooth golden horns and catfish-like whiskers.
"Greetings from the Black Marshes. I am Thoran,"
said the black leader in a hissing, booming voice. "Greetings from the Silver Mountains. I am Vatara," replied the gold dragon in a polite, strong female voice.
"Interesting,"
Thoran muttered. He cocked his head to one side with great interest.
"Where is the patriarch of the Gold Clan? Why is a male not present?"
"There are few of us left," Vatara replied. "I am the oldest in our clan. I am the matriarch." Thoran seemed to accept this fact and returned his attention to the sky. The red dragon leader circled overhead as he watched the exchange between the gold and black leaders. Slowly the red dragon descended upon the mountain. Red dragons had the mightiest of wingspans. Compared with other dragons, Red's heavy armor restricted their ability to descend. The massive red leader beat his wings repeatedly to maintain altitude and landed with a loud boom. Slowly the red dragon pulled in his large wings toward his body. The strong smell of sulfur soon followed. The red dragon had 2 massive horns coming from his back of his skull. Smaller horns covered his face in random areas. The leader roared to size up the other 2 dragons.
"Hail from the mountains of fire. I am Orlok,"
growled the red dragon in a low, rumbling voice.
"What is this all about?" "We must wait for the others to arrive before I speak. I am not in the habit of repeating myself," stated
Thoran. His eyes narrowed dangerously. A flare from Orlak's nose answered Thoran's statement. "Peace," Vatara warned. "We have come here to talk, not to fight. We all know the ancient rules of our forefathers." Although Thoran's statement angered Orlak, the meeting was a truce, and no fighting was allowed on top of the sacred mountain. Should fighting break out, the other dragons would turn on the one who attacked first, slaying the aggressor.
"Should you insult me again, Thoran, I will kill you,"
Orlak snarled. Thoran sneered at him. The red leader attempted to save face. Orlak snorted once again. Flames erupted from his nostrils. Orlak was just as curious as the other dragon on why the council was called. Vatara watched both of the males glaring at each other and sighed. Before any more words could be exchanged, the silver dragon landed gracefully between the red and black dragons. His mighty wingspan blocked the 2 dragons, and all eyes were upon him. Smooth silver plates covered the dragon's head, and 2 smooth silver horns were set upon the dragon's brow. The silver dragon roared his greeting, and the others replied.
"Vatara, it is good to see you once again,"
replied the silver leader in a low, soothing voice.
"How long has it been? 40? 50 years?"
"Greetings, Stratos. It has been a long time. How does the Silver Clan fare?" Vatara asked, bowing her head politely.
"The Silver Clan sends its greetings,"
Stratos beamed. The other dragons stated their clans and individual names. Finally, the small green dragon leader arrived. The green leader was a head size smaller than the smallest dragon in the gathering. However, greens, they lacked in size, they made up with agility and speed. Only a foolish dragon underestimated their tenacity. Green dragons had no scales but thick bones ridges. The green dragon leader landed quietly as an owl and joined the others. The green dragon roared, and the other dragons replied with their greetings.
Greetings from the jade rainforest.
Hissed the green dragon.
I am Cain.
The other dragons acknowledged him and turned to the black dragon that had summoned them.
Good. The 5 powers have come together once again,
Thoran said. He glanced at the leaders in attendance. Thoran had to choose his words carefully, or else war would break out among any of the kingdoms. Careless words had brought on the destruction of many dragon clans in the past. Thus, his declaration must be measured carefully.
We have a new enemy.
Thoran stated as a matter of fact. The other dragons narrowed their eyes dangerously at the black dragon. Orlac began to chuckle as bursts of flame jetted from his nose. Valtara shook her head in denial. We, Valtara stated defensively. I believe my clan has stayed within its borders. We have no territorial disputes. We have no new enemies.
Don't tell me. You don't have control over your Knoll slaves. I never expected the Black Clan to show such weakness.
Orlac teased. Through bared teeth, Orlac looked at Thoran. If the black dragon was not trying to appear weak, then he was being a poor leader. Smoke continued to billow from the nose of the mighty red dragon.
We have always had enemies,
Crane stated as he ignored the red dragon's outburst.
What makes these new enemies any more threatening than the rest? Humans, elves, gnolls, they're all one and the same.
His cat-like eyes looked upon Thoran with suspicion and disdain. The dragons returned their attention to Thoran.
This new enemy is much more powerful than we black dragons have ever dealt with. Our homeland has been divided in two. This new enemy strikes fear even into us, the masters of death. Day by day we lose more of our lands, servants, and brothers to this enemy.
Thoran warned. His eyes glowed green as black saliva came from his mouth.
We have never asked for the aid of others, nor would we had this new threat not appeared.
Orlac stopped laughing.
Are you so weak? Don't you even try to fight back against this so-called enemy?
Demanded Orlac.
Or have the black dragons lost their powerful status? Have they lost their nerve and need others to fight for them? Hold your tongue,
Stratos snarled.
Let Thoran speak. He is warning us about a new threat. Perhaps it is the outcast that has risen up again.
The two dragons glared at each other.
I haven't much time.
Thoran said hurriedly.
Because I am one of the...
His words trailed off. Thoran seemed shaken by Orlac's words. The black dragon began to roll back his eyes and began to tremble violently. The other dragons looked at Thoran in shock and horror. The black beast screamed in fury between his convulsions. Before any dragon could do anything, Thoran rushed at Orlac. Thoran's green eyes glowed with unnatural rage. Black froth came from the dragon's mouth as the black dragon charged. The red dragon was surprised by the sudden move. Orlac was barely able to get his wings out before the black dragon was upon him. Both dragons flipped over. Thoran landed on top of the struggle. His black claw grasped Orlac's neck and forced his head into the snow. Steam billowed from the snow where Thoran had buried Orlac's snout. The red dragon's fire breath blasted away into the snowbank. Suddenly the black dragon released his captive and took to the skies. Orlac reared his head back as a huge burst of flame came spewing forth. The jet of flames scattered the council members in every direction. But Thoran had already dodged and moved up to pick up a boulder. In one fluid motion, Thoran returned to the ground next to Orlac. The black dragon took the boulder and smashed it into Orlac, pinning his right wing to the snow-covered ground. The boulder rested on the inside of the red's wing, immobilizing him.